thing. Unplug my camera, which I have to allow. Okay. All right. Set now. Okay, it's me, Lucy, and this is, I think, the 7th Make a Castle Challenge video. And for this one, I'm going to just kind of go over some miscellaneous details. I do have 2 castle patterns. One is not in my library yet. Okay, you remember this first one, based on the chateau. And I just want you to know, Jackie of A Cottage in the Forest actually made it and made a beautiful version. So go to her blog and see that version of my chateau. And she has 2 other patterns because we're kind of talking about castle patterns tonight. She has 2 other patterns. I linked to those 2 patterns um, in the description, so you'll see that. And then I did get another pattern done, sort of done. You can tell, like, see, I was going to make this smaller. But anyway, it's a 4-sided castle, and it's got room for a drawbridge. So what I thought we would do tonight is actually make the drawbridge. So I'll show you a little bit about that. And I think I wanted to talk about some details on making the round turret. Okay. So I added these strips. These are kind of the semicircles that allow you to, that's Alley Cat, to allow you to mold your turret around. So let me kind of get one that's ready. I should probably show you when I'm using the overhead camera. But anyway, it fits inside, and it also provides a glue surface for you. So I actually put it in wrong. Yeah, I know. This is... Okay, so it goes in. That's a kitty whisker. And it helps give you a glue surface. I'll show you a little bit better when I move to my overhead camera. And, oh, and I have some other things. Today is the last day you can get access to my free Cricket Cutie dollhouse. It's just a little dollhouse. And if you get the free ticket, I sent out an email today. If you get the free ticket, you can get the pattern for free. The castle that is only if you get the all access pass. And I just love this castle. And eventually I'll make it available. I may make a workshop or something, but I just love that the drawbridge works. And you can close it, and I hook it, like when it's closed, I hook this. I have a little brad here that holds it. So anyway, that's a fun project, and that's on the Cricket Craft Fest. And I meant to make a castle pattern out of this one, but I haven't had time. But I will. That will be another one of my castle patterns. And I am in another Summit online craft event. And for this one, look at this. Isn't that a cute pop-up card? I'm very happy with how that looks. And then the other castle, I made several variations that are really fun. Okay, look, this one. Isn't that kind of a neat castle that's just kind of a continuing part of my castle theme? Here is another version with the stones drawn on. And one more. And this one, the stones are actually cut out, so, or at least the mortar is cut out, so I really like that. So that is on a different a card making summit. So I've been making castle variations all sorts of ways. And let me see, is that it? So I do think that's it. So I'm going to show you how to make a drawbridge that really works. So I didn't do it on my prototype, but we're going to make this section, this little section of the 4-corner castle so I can show you how to make a working drawbridge, or at least have the little, have like a chain hanging down, or you could use a string, something, but I'm just going to show you. In order to do that, I need to move over to my craft table. I kind of changed my setup, so I'm going to change to my craft table, and actually now it's a cat table, but I will move her. I will gently move her out of the way. This is Alley Cat. Okay. But I need to turn my computer around so I can see you guys, or at least see what I'm telling people. So I think Jackie is here from California, and Linda. Okay, come on, Alley Cat, you got to go. You got to go. Christine from Silverton, Oregon. Linda from Central Oregon. Gretchen from Wisconsin. And Wendy says it's hard to hear. Okay, all right. Let me see. My microphone might not be working. Go on, Alley Cat. That's because it's not. Okay, is it better now? Is it? Can somebody tell me if the sound is better? He said it's better. Okay. Christine said it's better. Okay. I'll try to talk louder too. All right, these are the parts for the for this section of the four corner castle. And let's see. It's hot off the Cricut, so I haven't pre-folded my lines. Usually I use a ruler, but when I set things up, I tend to lose other things, so I lose my regular stuff trying to do the new stuff. So I'm folding along the score lines. I always fold both ways. This is 110-pound cardstock. 65 will work as well, but 110 is stronger. Okay, so that's the basic structure. This is the hinge that's going to let us have a functional drawbridge. And again, I haven't tried it out, but I think it's going to work. So it kind of sets in this spot, and that gives us the hinge for the drawbridge. This is the outer piece that's going to hide our brads. So it's going to glue on the outside once we get our chains all in place. The function of this H-shaped piece. Oh, Dodie from Salmon Arm, British Columbia. So that's like everybody on the West Coast. You know, in 2016, I rode my bike from the Canadian border to Bakersfield, California. Mostly by myself. My brother Ben came for a week or two. It took me forever because I'm old now. But that's like the most beautiful part of the country. My sister joined me in Yosemite. So I had her for a week and my brother for about almost 2 weeks. But most of it was alone. I did it kind of to see if I could do it. That's one reason. Okay, let me figure out what needs to go first. So, my camera's upside down. Okay. This piece provides, it's the top piece. It's this piece. And don't add that till the end, because you need a way to get your fingers in there and stuff. So let's glue this. Oh, I know. Let's glue some windows on. So since you can see both the inside and outside of this castle, I'm gluing windows on both sides. Okay. I usually do windows first. If I'm going to paint it, I paint it and then glue on windows, but I generally do that before I construct a house or a castle or a project. And I always tell you it's partly because I am a very messy gluer. See, my friend Emily always uses the narrow tip, and I'm like, yeah, I need to do that one of these days. But I never put it on, but shoot. And even though this is a matte glue, it makes a little bit of shine. So if you have a just barely damp paper towel, you can mop it up before it leaves a little shine on your project. So I listed, while I'm gluing this on, I'll tell you about Jackie's castle. She did one based on a real castle. I think it's called Hiorne, something like that. It's an incredible pattern. Okay, and we have Rhonda from Southern Illinois. See, everybody, you know, much more west than me. I'm in South Carolina, what we call upstate South Carolina. It's near the North Carolina border, and it's much hillier, slightly cooler. It's still the South, but it's slightly cooler, and I think it's really beautiful here. Okay, so got that. Now I'm going to glue on one of the stones that has little cutouts for my brad. So be sure you do that. You choose that one. One is plain. This one is plain. And this one has holes to make the drawbridge. Let's kind of line up the bottom. There we go. And you can put it on the inside if you want. You don't have to. I actually cut out enough so that I could. The inside is just barely seen. Sorry about it being upside down. I was so proud of myself for figuring out a better way to do things, and then I didn't notice the upside down situation. So I'll try to turn everything around for you when I get to that point. I'm not going to glue windows on the inside because that really isn't, you really can't see that, but you might be able to see this. So that's why I did that, why they included that piece. So now I'm going to use the stone overlay on the, what I call the back side, the side without the drawbridge chain. I've really had a lot of fun with the castle challenge. I had to work on something else today. I thought I put it up here. I have another project for the another online craft event at the end of March. It has adventure in the title, so I did something for travel. If I can find it, I'll do you like a flash peek. It's really cool. I'm very happy about that. Oh shoot. I already did both sides. Okay, do I have windows? Okay, now let's glue it together. So my side seam is usually very small. Okay, see more people from Oregon. Wendy, Roberta, Joanne from Salt Lake City. I believe I'm related to her. And Shannon from Boise, Idaho. Yes, Joanna's my sister. She's the one, you know, we rode our bikes. I'm just jabbering while I'm gluing. I hope that's okay. We rode our bikes across the United States in 1983. My sister was just 16 years old, and she didn't train at all, and I was kind of mad at her about it. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, because she didn't train, but it didn't matter when you're 16. You just, like, can do anything. Alrighty, so this is the drawbridge section of the four-corner castle. Now, let's figure out what we need to do next. Do I need to glue this in place first? Yes, I think so. So, I'm going to glue it in place first because I want to be sure, because I kind of have to measure the chain. And some of the stuff I'm showing you about using a chain on your little houses applies to hanging bells too. I talked about that, and I'll do it again on when we talk about churches. Next week is fancy churches, and I included them in the Make a Castle series only because the towers and turrets, those things are very similar. I'm not gluing very well today. Let's see. I need another hand. I'm trying to get this to be flat. There. Okay. These flaps are little because I wanted the doorway opened, or the drawbridge area open. So the flaps are tiny, which it makes them a little bit harder to glue in place. Okay, now we have to be creative. That's why you don't want to glue that top piece in. Now I need something to smush the tabs in place. So I'm using a pen. Let's see. See, we're doing this in real time. This is the first time I built this section. I just designed it, but I think it's going to work. Okay. Alrighty, now we've got a little floor. Let me show you. This is the floor and the drawbridge flap. So next, I'm going to get my box. This is my box of chains, of little stuff I used to hang bells and things. Let me find. We're doing. Oh, Abby cat. I'm sorry about watching the cat. Okay. I'm going to have to spray her, I think, or actually I have to threaten her with the spray. All I did was shake the sprayer. I didn't actually spray her. Okay, so I'm going to use this chain. I like this. And let me see what else I need. I need some jump rings. Oh, that was a good question. Gretchen asked about the type of glue. This is cardstock. I pretty much use my Barely Art glue. I've actually been using it for my, even for my cardboard houses. It's a pretty impressive glue. What makes it so good is that it has a lot of resin in it. A lot of the glue stuff in it. It doesn't have a lot of water. Some of them, like Elmer's Glue All, has a lot of water, so it has to, in order to dry, it has to, the water has to evaporate in effect. So I'm looking for jump rings because that is what helps your drawbridge so much. And I have lots and lots of jump rings, but I'm not finding them. See, these are jump rings, but I don't want silver jump rings. I want black jump rings. These are the circle rings that allow, there. Can you see these little rings? They're what allows the chain to move. Let's see if I can get some more. So I'm going to use, now there's a trick to doing jump rings. There is a way to open them. So let me see if I can show you. There's a little, I moved it a little. Can you see how, let me see if it'll focus. No. Anyway, you open them up slightly. I don't know that you can see that it's open. There, maybe you can see there. And you open it by twisting, not by pulling it apart. You twist it because then it retains its strength better. So let's thread a chain on here. Let's see. Where's the start to my chain? And, you know, when you get older, it's a little harder to see these things. So now my chain is threaded on there. And I am going to close it up. So you use two like little pliers. And it's closed. Ah, shoot. I should have threaded it through first. That's what I was supposed to do. Okay, we're going to undo it. Yeah. So the jump ring's going to go... Actually, I want the jump ring this... Which way do I want the jump ring to go? It's going to go here. Jump ring's going to go on this side. So I'm going to thread it through. Maybe. Thread it through this little hole. And there, we got it hooked again. Now we're going to close it with our two little plier things. You can tell I'm not a jeweler. My friend Amy Romeo makes these beautiful earrings with her cricket. She's fluent in this stuff. Okay, so now we've got it. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cut it. I'm going to cut it long. You can use wire cutters. I think this is for jewelry stuff. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. They're very sharp. Lukey. That's a Lukey paw. I know you're not supposed to have favorites in children or pets, but he is my favorite. Lukey, go away. It's Luca. Luca the Puka. Okay. Now I'm going to thread it through here. Yeah, I really did too much. Thread it through here. Try. Yeah, way too much. Okay, we want it to hang straight. We want it to have kind of a gentle curve here. So, and I want to be able to pull it. So now I'm going to cut it smaller again, and I may end up cutting it again. I don't know if these have cutters. Sometimes the little pliers have little cutter things on them. Okay, now I'm going to come out this hole, maybe. Trying to thread it through the hole. I want it to go through the hole. There. So now we're through the hole, and we will do this. Now we'll thread it through this hole. So what I want is enough chain so when it's open, I can put like a brad on the inside and there'll be a little arch. Okay, so let's try again. No, that's not yours. Not yours, Lukey. Okay, this is close. Cutting one more time. I'm going to add a jump ring. Sorry about the mess. I need to open up my jump ring once again. my 2 little pliers and my uncoordinated right hand. I'm very left-handed. That is Alley Cat running in the background. Do you have craft buddies? There. Okay, now I'm going to close up my jump ring. There's the little thing. Actually, I should have made it go through the door because it looks good. It's still a little long, but it opens completely. So now I'm going to add a brad. I have many brads somewhere. I pulled them out so that I would know where they were, which of course means I lost it. So I just need 1 brad. Darn. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Get a little brad. I like the really tiny brads. These are called mini brads. Get some antiqued one. And let's punch a hole. I've got a little fine hole puncher here. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that sound. Now, I want the brad to have some space so that I can hang the chain on it. So I'm bending it slightly so that it won't be flat against the castle. Okay. Get it through these little tiny holes. I've got glue on my fingers so it sticks to my fingers. Now, apply it. And now we can hang the chain that way. It's on the inside, so it's not real obvious. The door doesn't completely close. I actually like the way these look, but I made this for the outside. But I think what I'll do is on the pattern I'll put holes so that you can see these rings because I think they look good. But I really like the drawbridge down. And let's see what we can do. Let's add a punch here so that the chain doesn't get in the way. It's gonna make noise. Another tiny brad. I just wanted to show you because I really think of working drawbridge on your little house is really fun. So that's why I wanted to take the time to do this. Does anybody have any questions? And like I said, next week is churches. Look. And I hope I have a pattern ready. I have an idea for a really cool church. And like I said, Jackie's already got one, I think, in the works. Hers is beautiful. Jackie's kind of my little house-making blogging buddy. The other site that has great houses is, even though they're not, it sort of depends on what kind of patterns you do. They're not necessarily SVGs, but they are beautiful examples, and that is a cardboard Christmas forum. The forum's kind of like what preceded Facebook. Let's see how you look. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to shorten this chain. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to shorten this chain because it hangs down, and I just don't like that. I want it to make a nice arch like that. So I'm going to shorten the chain. But anyway, I just wanted to show you how to get the chain inside. And but you can use a string as well. But a string, for one thing, I don't know if you can hear it. I really like the sound of the chain going through, and I just think it's a nice effect. So I believe that's it for today. I really didn't have that much. What I hoped to do was to show you some other patterns, but I just couldn't get them done in time. Wait, but maybe I can show you. Yes. Okay, this is a sneak peek of my project that I had to work on this week. I've got to get a video done for this. Okay, watch real fast. Doot doot doot. Like I said, is the key word is adventure. So that's part of it. Oh, let's put this in. Let's put this the little top piece in. So what I recommend is that you glue in one side, slide one side in, and then do the other. My top clogs up a bit. Pretty normal. But it unclogs easily. Sometimes there was a glue I used before, art glitter glue, and it's a nice glue, but the tip clogs like crazy. So that's not what I meant to do. Let's just do one side at a time. Slide this in. Tap down the pieces. And I added these little legs. Excuse me. I added these little legs so you know how high it goes. Okay. Let me see. I'm not sure. It's sliding around. I'm sorry. I'm being goofy today. Okay. Now let's apply glue to this side and see what happens. It'll probably be messy. But, you know, you could just do a little folded piece of paper, but I really was hoping that the legs help you get it even. Oh my gosh. Luca. Lukey, you got to go. I'm kind of feeling the little legs inside, and there. And so that gives you a flat surface on top of your castle. So 3 sections of the castle are built the same way, except these are simpler. These 2 sides are simpler. Then 4 towers, and then you just glue them all together. I think it's a fun little castle. I think kids would like to have it, you know, on their dresser or something. It'd be fun to play with, and it's relatively easy to make, so that you don't, if it gets crunched, it's okay. But you could also make it in cardboard, and then it'd be a lot sturdier, and put it on a base. I usually put my little houses on a base because I think it really makes them much sturdier. So, for example, for my chateau, if it falls over, or if you have to ship it somewhere, say you made one for somebody, you got the base that protects the sides. So I generally put mine on a cardboard base. It's just layers of corrugated cardboard. Also, out of kind of history, I leave a circle. The old-timey Putz houses always had a circle in the back because that's how they did light. Now I use the bottom, and you can use these little tiny LED lights, which do beautiful light. But I always leave that in my houses as a tradition. Now, obviously, I didn't do it in this because it's 4-sided, but you get it. Okay, I think that's it. And if anybody has any question, oh, I got all these little chain bits. Oh, and dirt from my castle base. So if anybody has any questions, you can email me at lucy@paperglitterglue. You can comment on my Facebook page or my Facebook group, which is Paper Houses and Paper Crafts, hosted by Paper Glitter Glue. Yeah, a lot. And where else? You could comment on the blog, and you can comment in the chat as well. I think that's it. We'll see you next week for churches, and I should have some pattern, at least one good kind of sort of a fancy church. I've done simple churches before, but I've got a fancy church. Let me see if I have a church. Wait. I have several patterns of a relatively simple church like this. This is on a jar topper, but so it's just a little church, and that's a simple one and it's fun to do. But I thought I'd try to do one with like more towers and much more ornate, flying buttresses or something like that. So that's for next week. Okay, alrighty. I'll talk to y'all later. Just let me know what you want to learn about and how you doing. Okay, bye y'all.